Hello, everyone. Welcome to Everything Arsenal. It is official. It is now definitely official. This is the first time in a long while that the Premier League title is now on City's hands or in City's hands. It's always been in our hands. We always knew we might go to City and nick a draw, and if we win the rest of the games, it's ours. But now, if City win all their games, including their two games in hand, it's their Premier League title, and they actually don't even have to beat us. They are now in the position that we were in a couple of weeks ago. They can now say, you know what, if we draw with Arsenal and win all our other games, we are Premier League champions. So that is very sad. These days in the Premier League title race, as you've seen with Liverpool and Man City the last couple of years, you're only really allowed like maybe a couple of faults here and there, maybe one or two. But unfortunately, we've drawn 3 games in a row, and that is just not good enough. You can afford to draw one and maybe two at most. But when you draw 3 in a row, that is definitely going to cost you, especially depending on which teams you're drawing with. The Liverpool one, I was definitely okay with. I was totally okay with drawing with Liverpool. But West Ham, the way we dropped points are obviously not acceptable. And today, dropping points to Southampton, again, we've drawn with them both games, home and away. And last season, they also cost us at the end of the season. They basically cost us top 4. I think the previous season, we also drew with them something like 2-2. So basically, they've cost us three seasons in a row, something. So we've cost ourselves. Let's say that we've cost ourselves. What has annoyed me most about these 3 games, or let's use 2 games, West Ham and today, is the fact that we are basically giving 2 things, actually. We are basically giving away goals, and that has cost us a lot already this season, starting with Fulham at home, all those games that we've given away goals. Today, after drawing 2 games in a row against West Ham and Liverpool, you want a quick start. You want to get 1-0 ahead and 2-0 ahead and maybe 3-0 ahead, something like that quickly to just take away the nerves. The last thing you need is a mistake in the opening 30 seconds of the game from your goalkeeper. That is exactly what you don't need, because all of a sudden you're like, oh my goodness, are you going to lose? Are you going to drop 3 games in a row? We now need 2 goals all of a sudden. If we needed, you only need 1 goal to win. But right after they scored, all of a sudden you needed 2, 3 to win. Because I had a feeling they're going to score today, but not like that. So in my head, I was still like, there's still a Southampton goal that they're going to score by themselves, which means you're going to get 3. We need to get 3 goals to win this game. The way it happened, that's not the only situation. For their third goal, the corner kick, Partey giving away the ball, and Partey also giving away the goal against West Ham, and obviously us missing the penalty in that game as well. Mistake after mistake after mistake. We're making mistakes. We are shooting ourselves in the foot every single game, and that is always a concern. Another thing that is bothering me, I've already talked about Partey. He fits into the next topic very, very well. The players that we're expecting to do well are the players who are faltering. Partey has made a couple of mistakes recently. The last 3 games, Saka has been quiet for like 2 of them. Obviously, today before they got scored, people are saying he's a bit quiet. So the players we're expecting to turn up and help us win these games, they've not delivered the last couple of weeks, and that is also a concern. So it's going to be tough. It's not going to be easy at all. That Man City game is the biggest game ever since we moved to the Emirates Stadium. You have to go there. Now we can't go there and draw. If we go there and draw, we have to hope Man City draw elsewhere and Arsenal win every single game, which is going to be very, very hard. I had a feeling City would still drop 2 games, maybe draw twice. But the problem is, I did not expect us to draw with West Ham and Southampton. I expected us to drop a couple of games as well, but maybe Newcastle or Man City or Liverpool or teams like that, not Southampton and West Ham. Those ones will definitely hurt. So we definitely need to pick ourselves up. There's still like 6 games to go. Very, very tough games, actually. We have to play Chelsea. We have to play Brighton. We have to play against Newcastle as well. Those games are not going to be easy at all. Definitely not going to be easy. But we need a miracle now. We definitely need a miracle. After the West Ham game, it was still in our hands. You just need to go and draw with City and win the rest of the games. You still win the Premier League title. But now it's in City's hands. We have to win our games and hope that City draw at least a couple of games. And if a miracle happens when you go there and win, we've not won there since 2015, 8 years ago. It was an April game, if I'm not wrong, like 8 years ago, 2015, around February or April somewhere. We need to go there and win once again if you want the Premier League title, which is not going to be easy. You have to keep the hopes up, but obviously very disappointed. Disappointed by the mistakes we're making, disappointed by conceding goals as well. We've been conceding a lot of goals. I think the last 3 games we've conceded close to 7 goals. That's a lot. That's a lot of goals conceded. And at home, you're conceding every single game as well. Pretty much the whole season, we've been conceding every single game at home. So it's going to be, it could turn out to be a heartbreaker, but we have to keep our hopes up. So it could have been worse, by the way. We were 3-1 down with 5 minutes remaining, and they added 8 minutes later on. If we actually scored a fourth goal in that game, that would have been miraculous. That would have been the best comeback ever in the Premier League. But Odegaard scored, finally shot the ball. Could have done it earlier, could have helped, and also Saka as well, getting himself a goal as well to make it 3-3. Keeping our unbeaten run, if we can still call it an unbeaten run, intact. We've now gone 8 games without losing, but unfortunately, 8 games, like 10 games without losing actually, but unfortunately 3 of them have been draws and back-to-back. And looking at our fixtures, as I said, Man City, Chelsea, Newcastle, Brighton, Nottingham, Wolves. Now, none of those games are easy. Like even playing against Wolves on that final day, if you're still fighting for the title, then it will feel like we're playing Real Madrid. Man City have Fulham, West Ham, Leeds. I'm expecting them to win all 3 games. The only teams I'm hoping can help us against Man City, not even beating them, drawing. Brighton away, Brentford away. Chelsea, really, I don't see it. Everton away, maybe they drew them in the first leg, but now, as you see, we have to hope. We have to hope that other teams take points away from Man City, unless we do it ourselves. Unless we take points away from Man City. In terms of the lineup today, Xhaka was ill. He fell ill, like he was supposed to start using the starting lineup, but he got ill, and that meant we had to bring in Fabio Vieira. But once again, he was not impressive at all. Jesus missed a lot of chances today, to be honest. Jesus definitely missed a lot of chances today. I thought Martinelli was great until he came off. Saka was also good for the last few minutes. Not as good as Martinelli, but he was okay. Odegaard, quiet. Partey. That's, you can try and shoot the ball when it's in the first half, but when it's like 1 minute remaining on the clock and you need to get a goal, you cannot be hopeful like that. Sometimes it can go in. We love if it goes in, but sometimes you know what is going to come when you shoot it off target like that. So I was not happy with that shot. There was a lot of options then. And then defensively, Zinchenko, Gabriel, Holding, White. We definitely miss Saliba. I'm not saying Holding is the one who's made mistakes or anything, but yeah, like since Saliba got injured, we've been conceding a minimum of 2 goals per game. And on the bench, Nelson came on, almost scored a winner once again. I thought Nketiah was okay when he came on. Who else came on? I don't even remember. Trossard was definitely okay when he came on. He almost scored a winner as well, hit the post with it. But right away, very disappointing. We need to cut off on the mistakes, or else, like by the time we get to match week 34, it's going to be curtains for us. It was never going to be easy. Actually, if you asked me from the last 10 games how many points I think we're going to drop, or how many games we're going to draw anything, I said we were going to lose like 1 game and draw 2. Now we've drawn 3, which means if we are going to match that prediction, we are going to have to win every single game from now on. It's not going to be easy. And what would even be more heartbreaking is if we win all those games that are remaining, probably get to 90 points, and Man City still win all of their games and finish top of the table. But if we win all of our games, we win the Premier League title, that means we have to go to City and win. We cannot even afford to draw. So it becomes even tougher. It's looking like it's looking difficult. It's looking difficult for sure. Now we have to hope. We definitely have to hope something happens. It's not in our hands anymore. We have to hope City drops points somewhere. And for us as well, not to drop points anywhere else. So disappointing to draw at Southampton. Fair play to them. They took their chances. There was some time where we had like 93% possession or something crazy like that. But it wasn't enough. I believe we waited too long to turn up. We looked very great in the last 10 minutes. We almost scored like 5 goals in the last 10 minutes. But before that, especially after we scored our first goal, that moment until halftime, we could have created more chance. Then after they got their third goal, we went like 20 minutes without doing much. So that was our chance. If Jesus scored then it could have been great. In terms of player ratings, I think I would give Ramsdale. He made a couple of saves, but conceded 3 goals and gave away the first goal. So I think I'm only going to give him something like a 4, unfortunately. For Gabriel as well, I'm going to give him a 5. Had a couple of chances up front, and I don't know how Walcott got in behind him that easily. I'm not even sure where Zinchenko was for that goal. Holding as well, I'm going to give him a 5. He conceded 3 goals. Ultimately, Ben White, a bit quiet going forward, a few poor crosses, but I'm just going to give him a 5 as well. Zinchenko, I'm also going to give him I think I'm also going to give him a 5 maybe. I mean, there's sometimes it looks very great, like inside the box and stuff, creating chances, putting in good crosses. But again, I don't know where he was for the Walcott goal, and also was it the third goal? I'm just going to give him a 5. Maybe some of you would give him lower. Thomas Partey, disappointing once again. I'm only going to give him a 4. Cost us that goal, gave them a corner pretty much. That is what those teams are looking for. Corner kicks, set pieces. They have Ward-Prowse. That is how they're going to score. Odegaard, he scored. But I was quite before that, so I'm going to, just because I was about to give him 5 or 6, but just because he scored and gave us an opportunity, I'm going to give him a 7. Could be high, maybe. I'm saying like it could be too high, maybe if you disagree with that. In terms of Fabio Vieira, again, pretty disappointing. Poor crosses, poor shots outside the box. I'm only going to give him a 4. I feel like we're only going to see the best of him next season. Saka, I'm also going to give him a 7 because he scored, and he's still not the Saka that you've seen throughout the season. He still has a few levels to go. Maybe I think he has to play against City, but maybe he should have been rested today, as many suggested. Martinelli didn't score, but he looked threatening for us, and actually went off when he got 2 goals. I'm going to give him a 7. Jesus, too many chances, 2 very good chances actually missed. I think you'd have tried to chip the goalkeeper for the first one and for the second one. At least get it on target. So I'm only going to give him a 5. For Trossard came on and had a good impact, came on for Fabio Vieira. I am going to give him a 6 out of 10 for the game. Who else came on? Nelson, I think, was okay as well when he came on. Looked like he could get something going. I'm going to 6 as well. Was there anyone else who came on? I can't even remember, but I think those are the ones that really got involved. Nketiah, I'm also going to give him a 5. Wasn't on for too long. Didn't get involved as much as the others, but ultimately those dropped points, very bad dropped points. You only allowed 1 or 2 dropped games, but 3 in a row, especially to West Ham and Southampton. That is not good enough. So next game, Man City, the biggest game since we moved to the Emirates Stadium. It's like at the beginning of the season, if I told you there will come a situation where we need to win 1 game and win the Premier League title, maybe you'd have taken that. But we've gotten ourselves to this situation now. We basically have to win the game to win the Premier League title. That is what has to happen. So let's hope something happens. Let's hope all the big guns turn up on that day. I'm praying that Saliba is back for that game. I feel like we really need him. Mikel Arteta, by the way, I'm also going to give him like a 4 or 5, considering 3 goals against them. But we made 2 mistakes as well. But tough one to take. But as of now, thank you guys for watching. I'll catch up with you on the